Today, I'm talking about a really powerful strategy which you can apply to improve and upgrade your hiking training and preparation no matter what your current situation is. Now, when we talk about training, whether we're training for a hike, a trek, a mountain adventure, quite often we get caught up in the idea of what is the best. Now, people always reach out to me and ask me what the best workout they should be doing for their particular adventure, or the best number of days a week they should be training, or the best diet they should be eating, or the best way to recover. And while personally, I tend to have a decent opinion around what the perfect preparation program would look like, I know as a coach, when I share these ideas, whether it's a particular workout or a particular recommendation, it might sound really, really good. It might make people feel good in the short term and feel really motivated. But in the long term, for the actual individual asking, it isn't entirely helpful most of the time. Now, this is because it doesn't really take into account of where these people are currently at. And if I'm just giving out random answers, it isn't really an effective coaching way of coaching someone. And I know that because I've worked as a behavioral change coach for quite a few years in the health and fitness space, meaning I've spent a big portion of my career literally learning and applying how to change people's behaviors and how to actually get them to eat right or train, and what strategies we can apply to helping people get to that point. And I know that generally from this approach of just giving answers and just saying this is the best thing you should be trying to do, the information doesn't really get put into action very much. Some people will take it and apply it into their training straight away, but for the majority, it doesn't really happen. So today, I want to talk you through a really, really, really amazing strategy, which I base a lot of my own coaching off for both my in-person and online clients, and it's called the Continuum method. You know, catchy name, I know. I could probably jazz that up a little bit, but it gets the point across well enough. Now, how I want to explain this is I want you to imagine your trek training right now, or your hike training, or basically the training you do on the trail to get yourself fit for an adventure. Now, first off, I want you to think about what is the absolute worst or least effective way you could approach your trek training. And then I want you to think about the absolute best way you could approach that trek training. Now, for example, the worst would probably be, well, it would 100% be literally sitting on the couch and doing nothing at all. Like, that's not going to do anything for your fitness, for your trail time or anything. And if you were trying to approach trek training and you literally just sat on the couch, that's the worst thing you could be doing. And then on the other end of the scale, the absolute best, at least in my eyes, would be following a structured, progressive hiking training program, which incorporates the specific trail skills that you need for your particular adventure and works around your prior commitments and your time availabilities. And that'll be the absolute best way of going about these things. Now that you've got sort of these two extremes, so the worst and the best, I want you to imagine they're simply, instead of just being two extremes, they're the ends of a spectrum or a continuum. So you've got the worst, you've got the best, and now I want you to fill in the middle with a whole bunch of different levels and different ranges of types of trainings, which would be run from the very, very worst to slightly better, to slightly better, to slightly better, and then eventually the best. So, for example, a really simple way of doing this would be absolute worst, doing nothing at all. Next one that might be a little bit better is doing just a bit of walking around your neighborhood once or twice a week. The next one, the next step up from that would be occasionally hiking. So going out and do some hikes in your national parks, once a month or something like that. The next one will be doing, a random hike every weekend. The next one will be doing a progressive program that slowly gets better. And then you keep on literally working up until you get to that full structured training program, which incorporates yada, yada, yada. And basically, if you are looking to improve and you are looking to improve your training, improve your fitness, improve your resilience or whatever, you simply find where you're at on this particular continuum. And then instead of trying to strive for the best and the end goal, you literally just move yourself up a notch. That is it. So if you're just sitting on your ass at the moment and doing absolutely nothing, the next step will be walking around the neighborhood. And that's going to be a dramatic improvement for your current state. Alternatively, if you're sort of occasionally hiking at the moment, moving up to a progressive program is going to give you some really, really fantastic benefits in your training. And as a whole, for the majority of people, this is going to be so much more accomplishable and a lot more achievable to actually apply than simply trying to jump to the end to the best state. Now, this isn't for everyone. Like, some people simply do thrive of knowing exactly what they want to do, and they just want to go out and do it. And that's generally when you work with a personal trainer, they'll tell you this is what you want to be doing, and you'll bounce back and forth, and then you'll get those benefits straight away. But if you're trying to approach this by yourself and you don't have someone supporting you and keeping you accountable and giving you the direction you need, you can literally work whatever you need out in your training with this method. Now, it might sound really, really super simple, as most of these techniques I share are, but it is so powerful. And you can use it in almost all of your preparations. So I'm going to run you through a whole bunch of examples of where this might fit in. Now, something that's come up a lot recently with my clients and people reaching out to me is the idea that people love group exercise classes in the gym. Now, group exercise classes are great for general fitness and they're great to work on certain aspects of fitness, but compared to doing really, really specific stuff for hiking might not be the best way. However, if we're working on this continuum, we might say, look, if you are doing group exercise classes, the worst thing is obviously doing nothing at all. But the first exercise class on that continuum might be a boxing class. It will help develop your fitness, but it's mainly working upper body strength and upper body endurance, and the intervals probably aren't entirely relevant to trekking. So it's going to be still great. It's going to be a lot more than sitting on your bum, but it's probably not the best thing. So if you're currently doing boxing, you might say, okay, what can I step up, but I still want to do a group exercise class? You might move into a step class or a cycle class. So they're a little bit more relevant for trekking. They're working your legs, they're working muscular endurance. They're basically there's a little bit more relevant to trekking. And then you might step it up again, and then that will move into a hiking specific program. So moving away from group exercise classes, if you're wanting to step that up, and then you go into really, really specific training for your hiking. Now, that's a really simple way of progressing that continuum. If you're doing this for yourself, you could fill out 4 or 5 extra steps in that, and you could literally work yourself through. The next thing is strength training. So strength training, I absolutely love it. There's a lot of stages on this continuum here. First one might be just doing a couple of squats and lunges at your home from time to time. The next one, when you're in the gym, it might be doing those random circuit training, which you might download off the internet, or you might be doing just a circuit class in the gym, which sort of gives you a broad spectrum of stuff going on, but it's not incredibly it's incredibly specific for hiking, and it definitely doesn't progress week by week. It's just sort of go in, work hard, and then continue on. So the next step on that would be following a structured program. So this doesn't have to be specific to hiking, but it's literally finding a program which over 12 weeks slowly gets harder and harder and harder, and there's a bit of structure to it. And then finally at the end stage would be doing a hiking specific program again. And then the next one is sort of conditioning through the week, or your cardio through the week. Like lots of people love the generic HIIT classes, so the 45 minutes going in smashing HIIT. And, I'm usually talking against that, but saying that on the continuum, it's definitely a lot better than just sitting on your bum. But if you're currently doing your HIIT and you wanted to do something that's a bit more relevant, you'd sort of upgrade that to a structured interval program, which over 6 or 8 weeks would have a clear structure and a clear progression, which would get harder, as opposed to in most HIIT classes where it's just come in, do a workout at a time. And then if you want to upgrade that interval program, you'd go to a hiking specific program. So stuff that's specific around your hiking. Same for mobility. So going for random stretches. The next level might be doing a yoga class where you're actually getting about 40 minutes of your mobility and stretches. The next one will do an individually tailored mobility. So stuff that's specific around what you need, what particular joints need to be mobilized, and what stretches work for you. The same for core. So many people start on sit-ups and crunches and planks at home. The next step from that, we might be doing a Pilates class, which is very, very general, but it's a very, very, very big step up from just doing the standard sit-ups and crunches. And the next, again, is an individual tailored program. So finding stuff that is specific around what you need. Now, that's a whole bunch of different examples for exercise types. You can use this in the amount of exercise you do in the week. So quite often I get the question from people saying, how many times is it best to train in a week? And in my eyes, it might be 4 to 5 sessions a week is a really, really good place to aim for. But if you're currently doing 1 session, jumping to 4 might be a bit intimidating. So simply just doing 2 sessions or 3 sessions a week is massive. Or if you're already doing 5 and you think, hey, I'm already at the end of that continuum, maybe you might want to add in another day, but purely a recovery day. And that's another training session, but it's going to be very, very practical. Food for thought there. And the same thing for nutrition. So a common example of people are trying to, be relatively healthy eating, and they're always going out to restaurants and that. As opposed to getting the burgers, you might get the fish or something like that. The same with the lifestyle choices. If you're trying to get to bed earlier, or if you're trying to improve your sleep, instead of having to do, an hour's worth of sleep routine where you just completely get off electronics and X, Y, and Z and go through a whole process, you might simply say, I'm going to turn my emails off 15 minutes before going to bed. And that's a step up or something like that. But you can apply this method to more or less anything in your preparation, anything in your training, and anything in, not just for hiking and trekking, but anything in your wellness journey. And it really, really, really is incredibly effective. So I highly recommend you give it a crack. So I hope you got a little bit out of this today, and hopefully today one of this method is immediately actionable for you, meaning you can literally sit down for 30 seconds to 2 minutes right now, write down what you want to improve, and find yourself on that continuum and move yourself up a notch. I would highly recommend, just off the back of this, literally just taking 2 minutes, thinking about an area you want to improve, and see if you can make that step. It really, really does make a massive difference to long-term preparations, and if you can work step by step, it really does see some really dramatic results. So I hope you've enjoyed the episode today, guys. As always, if you have gotten something out of this, I would absolutely love if you could leave me a review, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's on Google, or anything like that. It goes a long, long way to helping grow this podcast. So thank you for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.